session, the game you're trying to join no longer exists. You're in it, right?
You can't get in this tank, devil.
That's fine. Where am I going? Who am I shooting?
Oh, we got a tank in here.
Fucking daggers.
Objective Charlie has been secured.
Play something, it goes all in.
Yeah, I got over there yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Lester got a horseshoe up his ass. They all get primals, they can. Wester's got a horseshoe up his ass.
Yep, and there goes. Thanks, guys.
Wow, I just went pew 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 and got water.
Oh.
Joe da crab.
We are halfway to victory.
how far behind it is, but it went to hiding.
Objective Baker has been secured.
Nice, nice, nice. And his nickname, Titan Corona.
You like that link I put up? Facebook.
I'm not a huge fan of the alcohol over it, you know, at all. But I can take a occasional drink from time to time, you know.
The enemy has taken the advantage in this battle. Objective Charlie has been lost.
Hello everyone, thanks for watching today's episode. I'm going to go ahead and show you my specialization tree for the P70 Night Fighter, better known as the P70 Nighthawk, actually. Alright, so with this variation I went with the 6X heavy machine guns. The nice thing about this is they actually come right out of the nose. Very, very useful compared to having, you know, the machine guns coming out of each wing, focus on the target, where you just have them all centralized. Really, really effective. Also went with the supercharger. I just felt as though this particular supercharger was really good with engaging enemy aircraft, for instance. When you're flying this, you know, the maneuverability compared to, for instance, like a P51D or even the P51K or, you know, Corsairs, the typical fighter, it's just, you feel like you're flying a great big old bus or something. You just don't have the maneuverability. So to a sense, it's a defensive specialization, if you will. What I mean by that is, you know, all the other planes I've flown in this game so far, I needed some kind of thing in which, you know, a 109 gets on my tail and be able to shake them off. Well, in this case, you're not really gonna be able to shake them off. It's more or less trying to have them fly into maybe one of your wings by stalling, and of course the other thing is to kick in the supercharger and literally outfly them, if you will. Now I know that the 109 G6 has that you know, infinite nitrous boost to compete with, of course, this airplane, and as you know, especially the P51D's supercharger. But I originally didn't use this variation. I actually went with going with this side of the tree because I thought that having the 2X LMG rearward firing machine guns was better. And to be honest, it's not. You know, when you look at it, you think that maybe you would have a second seat, and some, you know, your buddy could fly with you. That would have been great. That would have been absolutely fantastic. But the problem is, I guess they felt as though that would have been too overpowered, or, you know, didn't provide good balance. So they didn't do that, and so as a result, it's really funky. If you select this as part of your specialization tree, you literally have to hold right click, and then you have to fly and maneuver from facing backwards, so facing your 6. Alright, so you're literally in first person, you're facing that backwards direction, and it feels real clunky, and it just doesn't feel right. And by the time you're trying to, line them up and all that, you're dead. He's already got you, especially if he has those rocket pods. You're done. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. And when I went through all this stuff, I just decided what you see here is the best variation to go with. So anyway, a little bit more in depth about that. I did want to go with the smoke screen, but again, if I would have went with smoke screen, right, I cancel out the emergency repair. I would have preferred if, for instance, the fin barrels would have been, the 15% automatic self-repair. That would have been great. But I felt as though I had to have something at least to, get me through a battle, especially with all the flag panzers and AA. I don't know if you guys finished the whole video, you would have saw towards the end on Al-Sandan, towards the main tank base, I actually take on 2 flag panzers at the same time, and I take out both of them with this variation. So yeah, would have been better to have smoke, absolutely, but I'm not going to cancel out my my emergency repair to get smoke, because that's exactly what would have happened. Alright, so next one was the 12X M8 rockets. You definitely want to go with that instead of, for instance, the improved control surfaces and this backglider thing. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool you get 2 of them instead of 1, like with the what was it, the Corsair's variation, where you get 1. They're still too weak, and even with 2, I think I killed only 1 tank ever with it, and it was probably a tank that was probably half health. They're totally not worth it, and they just, they don't really do the damage you want it to do. I think the most you're going to take off is maybe, I don't know, 35 at the very most. So, yeah, don't recommend it. Go with this. If you go with this, you're going to be literally a flying tank buster, if you will, or a flying tank. Tank destroyer. Tank buster, tank destroyer, whatever you want to call it. Basically how it goes is, if you're going up against a Tiger, you're probably going to have to do, you're going to have to spend close to the whole amount that you have. So, you're probably going to use, let's see, 9, depending, of course, if he has an engineer and so on. But, these things come with 12, so is it, 3 times 3, right? So it shoots out 3 at a time. Yeah, you're going to be shooting out at least 9, if not spinning the whole thing. And then, of course, when you see a repair or resupply, I should say, make sure that you have spent all the rockets first until it says 0. I can't tell you how many times I've actually gone through a resupply, and let's say I only wasted 6. Well, as you know, when you go down to shoot your target, it will lock you at the 6 because it's starting to charge the other. It's a super annoying feature. I don't know why they did that, but that's pretty much the real fun with any of these airplanes. So anyway, go with these. You're going to bust the hell out of tanks real easy. Flak Panzers absolutely going to hate you with this. And it's just fun. It's just awesome to be able to see something so devastating in the sky, and you racking up the kills and helping out your team, your squad, and they see you just busting the crap out of those Flak Panzers. It's great. And of course other tanks as well. I think on a Puma you might be able to get away with you know, maybe 2 or 3 of the 3x3s of the M8 rockets. So, but for the most part, the rule of thumb is 9. I would say that's safe to say. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, and then second to last one, I decided to go with the increased ammo capacity. I actually wanted not this, but what was it? I wanted to do this, you know, the spawn beacon, but now this is actually pretty cool because I mean, you don't really carry a lot of ammo to begin with from your nose cannon, so this is actually pretty beneficial. And not only that, you want to be able to get to this last one for the spotting scope, where it says while in zoom, call out spotted infantry for teammates. I mean, just the whole idea of being able to combo or assist for your team to help them out is definitely the way to go. Depending on what kind of pilot you are, you may want to go with the armored fuselage. If you just notice that you have way too many problems with the flak panzers and the AA. I mean, if they got like, I don't know, let's say 2-stack AA and a couple flak panzers, maybe you want to switch to this, but just do it temporarily, you know, before you deploy, like I mentioned in the other video. Hit customization, reset all this, and then literally keep the whole thing the same except for go with the bottom. But that's just going to be an on-the-fly thing. I wouldn't recommend permanently doing the armor fuselage. I'll go with this because you think about this. Let's say you're the only guy out there spotting. You know, sometimes snipers are not doing their job with shooting flare guns. You'd be surprised how many times you see snipers not even use a spotting scope. And I'm not going to get too heavily into that because, you know, the flare, in my opinion, is way more effective than spotting scope. I mean, it helps the whole team. It lights up an area. You get multiple snipers shooting flares. I mean, you know, it just lights up everything, like I said, like a Christmas tree. So if nobody's doing that and you're at least doing that, you're at least helping your team that much more with the spotting scope. So I would say there you have it as far as my specializations tree. Just a little, you know, tips and tricks in regards to this plane. It is literally a flying tank. It's going to take the enemy a lot more firepower to pour into you to take you down. Flak panzers, for instance, you know, they look at you as a giant pain in the butt because you just have so much more armament on your airplane compared to like flying a Mustang or some other, you know, bomber airplane. So you want to be, of course, that pain in the butt. But if you want to be a true fighter who's laying down the air support, laying down the ground support, if you will, taking out those tanks, you really got to go with this, especially if you're playing Panzerstorm, for instance. If you're playing Panzerstorm, you know, it's just too wide open. I mean, if you see on some of my clips, it's like, you know, diving down on those flak panzers. And what's the thing I'm immediately doing? I'm kicking in the supercharged. I'm trying to get the hell out of there because if I didn't have this thing, I'd be mowed down immediately. And that's just the way it is. So, gotta have the supercharger when you're flying this particular thing. Now, of course, you know, if you're that one guy you want to play around with it, by all means, you know, use some of these other variations. But I mean, if you're serious about Battlefield, wanting to help out your squad, wanting to help out your team, you know, you're a decent pilot and you want to just absolutely cream these guys so that they have no armor up hardly at all, just like you see right here, go with this. So try to think of any other tips I can give you guys. You know, strafing isn't too hard, just with the regular cannon. And yeah, I guess that really is it. So thanks for sitting through that, and leave a like, comment, let me know what you guys think about the P70. If you're a big fan of it, or you just feel as though it's just not for you, it's too much of like a, you know, flying bus or flying boat. I mean, I get it, but as far as firepower and the devastating effect, I mean, you just gotta give it a shot. So, and like you saw at the beginning of the video, try out, what is it, breakthrough game type on Twisted Steel. on the American side, be one of the lucky guys, get this plane, and when you've seen that the enemy's pushing up on that bridge, lay down the smackdown with the 12X M8 rockets, and you'd be so glad you did. So, good luck to you guys. Thanks for watching the video, and see you on the next episode. Over and out for now.